Hashtag T2P, come and take a sip of the thought with me. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and peace and blessings to you. It's a great day. It's a blessed day. It's a Wednesday. And today, y'all already know it's our Workshop Wednesday. We're going to have our resident co-host on just in a little bit, maybe a little bit later, about 8:30. But today is our Workshop Wednesday, and we're continuing to talk about Black business. And today we're going to talk about what exactly do credit restoration companies do? What do they actually do? Like a lot of us don't know. Like we always hear, oh, you got to get your credit together. You got to get your credit together. But what exactly do they do? Right? We're going to get some news about that, some information about that, and figure out what they actually do. For those of you who are chiming in, coming in, how did you get me? Through Facebook, through YouTube, through Smoke Signal, however you got me. Go ahead and let me know you're in the building. Give me some hearts, give me some thumbs up. Let me know you're in the building. Like, share, love, do all of that good stuff. And I hope that everybody's doing good this morning. I wanted to start with something this morning. I'm always having conversations with people, and people always say, but Titan, you're always having a conversation. Like, what's your conversation, right? But sometimes I like to have conversations with different people and to understand what people think and how they feel and so forth and so on. I'm a people person like that, right? So with that, there were a couple of things that I Googled. Okay. 1 second here. 1 second. All right. Seemed like there was a lot going on outside here. I was like, well, let me just mute for a second, make sure I'm good. All right. So there were a couple of things that I mentioned here lately that we were talking about, considering, being Black and how we have been portrayed in history and how things have done. So, three things that I Googled, right? And just because I'm always trying to know more, understand more, things like that. So, three things that I say that you all should Google when it comes to being Black. Why is wealth important? Why is money important? And things like that. So, number one, I want you to Google Black Wall Street, right? Just Google Black Wall Street. I think that it's important that we know what that is, okay? So, I'm going to put a couple of things in here to Google, right? And I want you to, the reason why I'm saying it, because on the Workshop Wednesday, we always talk about Black business. Well, we talk about business, period. But here lately, we've really been talking about Black business and how you can grow your Black business, how you can elevate your Black business and, and things like that, right? I want you to know what that is. I want you to understand what that is, or what wealth is, or yeah, just a couple of things that way. So Black Wall Street, I think that was number one. And I want to say the wealthiest Black communities, I think. Okay, so I think, yes, that's what it was. So it was the wealthiest Black communities. And there's a list that they have. Black excellence, top 10 richest Black communities in Texas, because I'm from Texas. I live in Texas. So there are things like that that you can actually do. And so this is not to say anything against anybody else or any other race. This is just us being smart about what it is that we have going on and so forth and so on, because we keep hearing that we don't have, but there are things out there that exist that we know nothing about. We know nothing about. Okay. um and the wealthiest black communities, okay, you can just Google that, right? Okay, Google that. And the third one was let me just make sure. I got to go back to my list search. I thought I had wrote everything down. Okay. So this is a third one. Okay. And then the third one is black owned banks. Okay. Now, all of this right here today that I'm talking about, um, people will say, okay, well, Titan, well, what does that mean? But I think you should know, right? Black Wall Street is your history, right? The wealthiest black communities. You should know about these communities because they do exist. A lot of people say that they don't exist. A lot of people say that it's not something that we have, or so forth and so on. And then black owned banks. You should understand or know in your community if you have a black owned bank. Like there's a black owned bank here in Houston, Unity Bank, I believe. Yeah, Unity Bank. And a lot of people don't even know that it's in the hood. It's in the heart of Third Ward. And a lot of people don't know that. And a lot of people say, oh, well, that's a black bank. Yes. I would suggest that you invest in a black owned bank. I would suggest that you understand what Black Wall Street was. I would suggest that you understand the wealthiest black communities, right? And so even if you want to do a parallel, right? The poorest black communities or the wealthiest black communities, however you want to do it, you should be educated enough to know what that is. And I'm not saying education as in you're dumb because you don't. No, I'm saying just know what's around you, know what's going on. If you're going to Google something, if you're going out there trying to be a black entrepreneur, you're trying to own a business, you're trying to do things, you need to know, you need to understand what that is and then understand what your black dollar does, right? You need to understand that. So I want you to know what I know. I'm a researcher. Like I research. Like that's what I do. Like, and I don't call it research because people say, "Oh, well, Titan, you're researching." No, I just like to have knowledge. I just like to know. I watch documentaries. I Google things. If I don't know it, I'm Googling it. Or if I don't know it, I'm asking an elder or somebody to show me, to help me understand, to get me through that point. So I want you to do the same thing, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to make sure. Um, Yeah, yeah, I think it would be good for you to know that, to be able to be able to just know something about your heritage and who you are, where you come from, so forth and so on, right? And so I think it's a good thing for you to do that. So if you would go ahead and do that, I put it down into the comments. So please let me know what you're thinking, what's going on. All right. And so then we're going to go ahead and get moving and get into it. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, like, share, do all of that good stuff. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened with this change that Facebook has done. I don't know. So I'm looking at my podcast or my live, but I can't send it or share it to other people. Isn't that weird? So if you all know anything about this, let me know because I'm just looking at it now. Like, wait, am I sharing? I'm not. Yeah, hold on. Hold on. Let me make sure that we are good. Because it's saying that I'm live now. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay. Oh. Okay, so there it goes. I'm hoping that's it. Look, y'all bear with me. Bear with me. Just for a moment, y'all. If y'all can see me, if y'all can hear me, if y'all can feel me, go ahead, like, thumbs up, heart, share, follow, subscribe, talk about it, push it through, do whatever it is that you need to do. And I'm trying to figure out per se how this goes. Yeah, that's so weird. Like I'm trying to bring people in, but I actually can't bring people in. Yeah, it got to be something going on. But anyways, I'm gonna push on. I'm gonna push through. I'll figure it out later on what's happening, what's going on. Um, so good morning, good morning, good morning, Titus. Good morning. Hey. So what I want you to do, if you would, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I was just trying to figure out like why I wasn't able to share, and it's something that Facebook, I guess, has changed because it's not allowing me to um, like share to people. I don't know what that's about, right? I don't know what that's about. But anyways, so before we get into the breath and the groove and all of that good stuff, ladies and gentlemen, I put into the comments three things to Google. So Google Black Wall Street. Google the wealthiest Black communities. I don't know if you want to do it in Texas because I'm in Texas, but do it wherever you're from. And then Google Black owned banks in your area, right? I think it's important that we know about these things, right? Because isn't it crazy that you are in 2020 and somebody says, "Oh, there's a black-owned bank"? Like, what in the world is happening? Like, we're in 2020. That should be a plethora, a multitude, which it is. But we don't know these things. We don't know these things. So I ask that you go ahead and you do that and check it out and let me know what you get from it. Let me know if you're in another area, you're not in Texas or you're not in Houston or you're somewhere else and you Google Black owned banks, what do you come up with? You Google the wealthiest Black communities in your area. What do you come up with? Let's talk about it. Let's get an understanding that they are out there. We just got to go know about how to find them. We got to know about how to find them. Okay. Um, let's see here. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna stop worrying about it because y'all know I don't do good when I worry about stuff. I'll be like, I don't know what's happening right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and let's do this. What I would like for you to do is to come with me and acknowledge that your breath is important. Acknowledge that you are important. Acknowledge that you are living and that you are here, and that anything that you are trying to do in your life can be done. And you always have a chance to do it over. You always have a chance to, I don't know if I can say do it over, but maybe change the way that you did it the first time. Maybe go back to whatever it was and rectify and have a resolution, right? But I do believe that it starts with you acknowledging that your breath is important, acknowledging that you are important. Oh, that's some orange juice. I normally don't like to do orange juice in the mornings after I brush my teeth, but I would normally do coffee. But same thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go with that. I just got discombobulated just for a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's just take a moment. Loosen up your shoulders. Loosen up your shoulders, baby. Mm. And let's take a moment and just acknowledge that your breath is important. Take a moment and acknowledge that you are important. Take a moment and understand that no matter what is happening around you right now, no matter what's going on, you are important. You're supposed to be here. This is what you're supposed to be doing in your life. And then, not only that, something that I said on yesterday that I want to reiterate today and any day going forward, be in the moment, be happy where you're at. A lot of times we're not happy exactly where we're at, right? Now I know you're probably saying, but Titan, hey, right now I'm at the bottom of the barrel and I'm not feeling good and I'm not doing this. But you have to understand that you are able to move and to do if you're able to do that. But a lot of times we don't acknowledge where we are right now in this moment. And right now in this moment, if you're living and you're breathing, right? If you're breathing and you're living, or you're living and you're breathing, or you open your eyes this morning, then you are doing something, right? So just acknowledge that moment. Acknowledge the fact that you are here. Acknowledge the fact that you are great. Acknowledge the fact that you are loved. Acknowledge the fact that you opened your eyes this morning and you're able to go forward. Just that's what we want to do, is acknowledge. So what we want to do is take these 3 breaths this morning, and normally on the first breath I count it out, so that's what I will do. But the second breath I won't count it out. I will do the hand movements. And on the third breath, we want you to take that breath, but we want you to make some noise when you take that breath. Once you take that breath in and you let that breath out, you make some noise. You acknowledging the actual issue, problem, concern, whatever it may be, but you're telling the universe that I am in control. I understand that I have it. I get it, right? That's what you're doing. Y'all with me? All right, y'all ready? All right, let's go ahead and let's acknowledge that this breath is important. On the count of 3, we're going to take a deep breath in, and I will count it out at a 5 pace. 1, 2, 3. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, loosen up your shoulders. Think about where you're at. Think about what you're doing. And think about the fact that you are here and you are living. And I am telling you, yes, that part, right? That good old thing. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do on the second breath, I want you to take a deep breath on the count of 3. On the second breath, I'm not going to count it out, but I will do the hand movements. But I want you to make sure that you are taking that breath and you're understanding and you're acknowledging that you are important, that your life is important. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, deep breath in. And out. And out. Yes, indeed. Come on. Come on. Mm, 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 mm. All right, y'all. We're on this third breath. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Make sure you're open to receiving this, right? On the count of 3, we're going to do a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3. Deep breath in. And look, I know y'all be thinking I'm crazy sometimes when I do this, but I'm telling you, acknowledge the fact that you are living, acknowledge that your breath is important. And then when you blow it out on that third breath, make some noise. Now, I'm not responsible if you're at work, if you're at a library and somebody comes over and tap you on the shoulder. I'm not responsible for that. But what I like to say that I am responsible for is acknowledging that you're important, acknowledging your breath. Let's do that. Sometimes you may have to do that 1, 2, 3 times a day. Hopefully, it's not to the point that you're stressing out, but do know that you're in control. And if you acknowledge that your breath is important, the very breath that you breathe, the very thing that fuels your body, if you acknowledge that on a regular basis, you can change the atmosphere in the room. You can change what happens. You can change how you react to things. You can change the way that you see the world and things that are happening around you. Believe me when I tell you, you can change it. You can change it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the thing. Y'all know what I like to do. Y'all know once we take those breaths, y'all know that we get those breaths in. Y'all know I like to come at you with a little groove. So that's what we're going to do this morning. For those of you who've never done it with me before, it is a little different. It's a little unorthodox, but it's fine though. It's me. It's what I do. So y'all ready? I heard you say that you were ready. So if you're ready, let's go. Let's get it. Sit it, da, 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 da. Sit it da 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 tiki 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 da zoom da da doom da doom doom da da doom da doom doom da da doom da doom T2P check me out T2P check me out zoom da da doom da doom doom da da doom da doom doom da da doom da doom T2P check me out T2P check me out T2P check me out Heart like ha ha. Heart like follow. Yeah. T2P. Check me out. Look, ladies and gentlemen, look. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I say, do you? I say, do you? Love you? Do you? Do whatever. There's room for you in the universe, right? There's a lot of things that a lot of people do that you think sometimes you look at, you're like, And somebody said, well, why don't you put it down as a track, right? And then that track will play. But I like to be organic. I like to have the feeling. I like to be able to do the groove however I'm feeling in that morning, right? I might not be hype in the morning. I might want to do a little slow jazzy feel, or I might want to do a little, a little rap with it, or I may want to do a little singing, or I may want to do a little soulful. Who knows? So I just say, do you? Do you? But I do believe that if you start your morning off with taking your breath and acknowledge that your breath is important, and then you groove a little bit, because we're all vibe and frequency. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, do that. Remember, like, share. And do all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going back to my part when I first came on with the live this morning. So I just want to say to you all, there were three things that I think that everybody should Google, and just to Google, just for knowledge, just for understanding. And one is Black Wall Street. A lot of us don't know about Black Wall Street because we were not born during that time. We were not taught that back in the day. And I think it's good for you to know what Black Wall Street was, what Black Wall Street means, and what it is today, right? For there to be a such thing as a Black Wall Street, all right? The second thing was the wealthiest Black communities. I don't know if you all are history buffs. I don't know if you like knowledge like that, but I was watching a documentary the other day, and the documentary was talking about how they have these wealthiest communities that are hidden amongst us, and we know nothing about it, right? And I was like, well, that can't be a real thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that can't be a real thing. It actually is. It's actually a real thing. Who knew? So I said, Google that for your area. And then lastly, the third thing was, while we're talking about a workshop Wednesday and Black business and owning your business and doing that, Google Black owned banks in your area, or not even your area. You Google them in the United States, right? Because the more knowledge that you have, the better you are. There are Black owned banks. And then for those of you who are in Houston, right in Houston, right? If you were to Google right now, a Black owned bank in Houston, it's going to pinpoint you. There are Black owned banks right in Houston, right? So there is Unity National Bank on Blodgett, smack dab in the hood, right? There is Cadence Bank in Palm Center, right? There's Cadence Bank in Palm Center. And I know a lot of you may be saying, okay, Titan, Palm Center still around? Yes, there's still a Palm Center. Yeah. But there are Black owned banks right there, right? And so a lot of times what happens is we don't see these banks in, how can I put it? We don't see them in the media like that, right? We don't see them going on. So there are a couple of others that are here, and I don't know if they are still open or not. But there is Cadence Bank. There's one downtown. There's one in Palm Center. There's Unity Bank that's off of Blodgett. And then there's another one off of, let's see, where is this at? Another one off of, looks like, we're just going to click it and see. That's what we're going to do. Another one that's off of Texas Parkway in Missouri City. Who knew? Who knew? So what I'm saying is sometimes we don't know these things like that. We don't know these things. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's out there. So ladies and gentlemen, go and check out these Black-owned banks. Go check out Black Wall Street. Go and check out the wealthiest Black communities, or either the best place to buy a home, the best place to live, the best place to invest your Black dollars. Like, you need to know all of these things, because if you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're going to get into it, then you're going to have to be able to know what these things are, right? And so a lot of times what happens is that we don't know until we know. So with that being said, I ask that you go ahead and make sure that you do that. So I'm still like looking at certain things and trying to figure out like why I can't share this live this morning. So ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, if you would go ahead and share this live. So if you know a Black-owned business, let's do this. If you know a Black-owned business, go ahead and share. Put down in the comments, tag them, let them know, because we want to support Black-owned businesses on a every Wednesday if we can. Every Wednesday if we can. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to start dropping names in the comments and stuff like that. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all share. Y'all like. Y'all do that, because we need to support each other and make sure that we are using our Black dollars in a manner in which it's good for us, right? A lot of times what we do is we don't use our Black dollar for Black businesses because there's some type of air about having a Black business, right? Also, too, let's see. I'm going to put some names in. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag some people that have Black businesses. If you know of someone that has a Black business, then please bring them in and let them know, so forth and so on. Yeah, and get them to come on in and to talk about what's going on. A lot of times we don't do that because we don't necessarily know about this Black business. So I'm going to put a couple of names out there that have been around me, that have helped me, that have supported me throughout my time and what's going on. So let's go ahead, let's do it. If you know of anybody, tag them down in the comments. Let them know, ladies and gentlemen, that we are there. And so let's get it. Let's see what we have. Okay, we're going to do this. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to go this route. And let's go. All right. Okay, and all right, let's get it. Let's see. We're gonna start with some people that I know right off the bat. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Y'all in with me? Y'all in. All right. So names about to start rolling. Okay. Names about to start rolling. All right, I'm going down the list. Okay. All right. I'm on it. So I want to make sure that we all are um, seeing and that we have um, your black business, right? If you have an organization, if you have some type of tie uh, to your business, it doesn't matter which way, where, how your business comes. We want to support it. So I'm putting people in so that they can support, so they can get the support. And all I'm asking is that you do with that, all I'm asking is that you just put down your information. Put down your information. That's what you can do, right? Put down your information. Put down your business. Let us know what's going on. Let us know the name. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know what's happening. Because this is what I want to do on the workshop Wednesday. I want to make sure that at least we are doing what's good for our brothers and sisters out there, right? And I know, ladies and gentlemen, so this is something that I talked about with someone. They were saying, well, Titan, it's really not, that or this. Okay, I get it. I get my platform is not in the stratosphere, but I do believe that I have a platform and I can do something with my platform. And I would like to do this with my platform, bring you in and allow you to be able to just drop a card, drop a link, drop something in the comments so that people know who you are, what you are, and what's going on, right? And I think that that's a good thing. So I'm popping people in. I hope I'm not like disturbing anybody or anything like that. But I want to make sure that you are able to say what's going on. Tell us about your business. Let's see. All right, we're making sure I'm getting everybody up in here. Uh, okay, y'all make sure because I'm going. I'm pushing, making sure that the people are in, making sure. Let's see. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you know of a black business, if you know of someone, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, cuz. Good morning. Good morning. Drop your information into the comments, a link. If you got a website, if you have a business card, anything like that, go ahead and drop that in. Let us know what's going on with you. You never know who we can actually touch, who we can get in contact with. Make sure that that you are doing that. And I'm trying to help as best that I can. Good morning, Victoria. I appreciate you. Thank you for chiming in. And yes, and make sure that you're there. Make sure that you are dropping your info and that you are doing that. Let me see. Let's see. Trying to make sure I'm good. All right. All right. I'm dropping them in. I see the people coming in. Let's see. I think this is the right one. All right. So yes, drop your information, a link, anything like that that you may have. Make sure that we know about it. I think it's always good for us to support one another to make sure that we are in. Victoria says she has two businesses, Boss Vision Design and Hello Beautiful Unique Eye Candy. So, Victoria, if you have a link or you have a way to get there or anything like that, go ahead and put that in and let us know and make sure that we are good. And then also, too, if you know of anybody else that has a business that's out there, that's doing it, yeah, drop them down in the comments. Let us know in the comments. Let us know what's going on and let us know what's happening. And what we want to do on Workshop Wednesday, we want to make sure that we highlight those. And especially if you've been to a business, if you have patronized a business, if you have been there, I got you. I'm coming. You have been there. Let us know. Let us know. And word to the wise, ladies and gentlemen, word to the wise, good business, right? Good business. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my co-host for today is in the building. She's coming in, and hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Huh?
I can't complain at all.
Okay. It wouldn't do no good if you did.
No, nobody even cares.
Okay, in that part.
That part.
So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know Talisha Daggs. Y'all know her. She is in this morning. And Talisha, right now, what we're doing is we are pushing businesses, Black businesses. We're dropping them down in the comments. If you know of any, please put them in the comments so that everybody can see. And then if you are tagging someone, you yourself, or you're tagging someone, let them know to drop their links, drop their business cards, drop what they do, drop a Google, like we can Google them or whatever have you. And yeah, and if they want to, in the comments, just let us know what they do, right? Let us know who they serve, what's what, all of that good stuff. So every Wednesday, what we want to do is highlight a good Black business. And notice I said good.
Good.
Good. Don't be
Yeah.
sending us no, don't be sending us no foo-foo. Don't be sending us no foo-foo, okay? Because I'm telling you, when Talisha and I go to look at this stuff, or we go by to patronize or visit,
Yeah.
with the food, we're gonna call you out. So let's, ladies and gentlemen,
Just know.
just know. All right. So there are a couple of people that have popped in. Victoria says Shaded by Jayla. Okay. Let us know what Shaded by Jayla is, Victoria. We'll go ahead with that. I have my cousin is an actual exterminator. And he says he's a bug man extraordinaire, pest control company that specializes in heat services for bed bugs. We also do all pests, including ants, spiders, roaches, bird control, animal removal, and rodents, etc. etc.
Look, let me tell you, I don't want to know if I'm gonna need him. I don't never want to need Eddie.
Look, let me tell you though. Let me tell you. A lot of us live in older houses, right?
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you really don't want to know what's under your floorboards. You really don't want to know what's in your walls, because those little critters can get in there and set and be, and he's the one to go in and pull them out. He's the one to go in and get them out. And I said, evidently, there's a need for it, because he's been on the run like no other. So I got you, cousin. I got you. I really believe that we got something going on, because we used to have this open lot next door to my house, and the weeds grew up and all that stuff. And I really believe some rodents came along with that. I really do believe that. And so I hear them at night, you know what I'm saying, like on the trash cans. And I don't know if it's possums or raccoons or polecats, as the old folks used to say. I don't know. I'm not going to find out, but I'll call you, cousin, and let you come find out. That's what we do. That we do. And then so T was on the show possibly, I think, about a week and a half ago. Common Sense Cooking and Cuisine. She
Mm.
gave her Facebook information and all of that. And good morning, good morning. Look, hey. She's part of my circle. Love, love, love her. But her food is delicious. I just hate that she moved all the way to Maryland. Maryland.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang. I
yeah.
was
She's
about
up
to
in
like
the
follow her on IG. I'm gonna find her in Houston. Oh,
Okay, no. You ain't gonna find her in Houston. Not like that. Now she may come and visit and stuff like that, but not like that. But she moved to Maryland and her business is going good and stuff like that. And she was on the show and she talked about how to support yourself with a black business and how to move forward. And it was really good. It was really good because her story was just really quick. I'm gonna talk
mhm.
about you for a minute, T. Her story was that she was doing dabbling in catering and things like that, right? Yeah, while she was here. When she moved to the DC, Maryland area, it blew up. All of
Oh,
a sudden, yeah. So, and we were talking about sometimes how you have to invest in your business. And what she did was she did a taste test or a taste, how you do a tasting. I guess that's what the word is.
oh yeah, yeah.
And correct me, T, if I'm wrong on what it was. But she did the meals, made them up, and then she invited people in. And the only thing that she asked that they do was to promote her on their social media. That was it. You came in. Oh, a taste and tell. That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
A taste and tell. That's what it was. All right, correct me because I'd be getting, taking half the words. Oh, she did a tasting. That's what she did. So she did a taste and tell, and she said that she didn't ask for anything. It was a free meal. They came out, and it was like during a survey, kinda, in a sense. That was it, and they didn't have to pay for anything. 5 courses, nice candles, wine, all that good stuff, and the whole nine.
Hmm.
And that's how she got started. And I said this, and me and you've talked about this before, Talisha. Word of mouth is huge. Word of mouth is huge.
Yeah, it is.
Like I can advertise on TV or a billboard, but if I did good business with you,
Mm-hmm. That part.
that's gonna go far. That's gonna
Mhm.
go far.
Much
My
further
cousin
than
said,
anything else.
huh?
Much further than anything else. You're right.
Come on. My cousin said, evidently in my Aunt Faye voice. My Aunt Faye has this word she say all the time, evidently. So whenever we know something to be true, we be like, evidently. Okay. Indeed, cousin, indeed. He said he read it. Victoria said, Shaded by Jayla is my granddaughter's sunglass business. She's a young entrepreneur watching her granny grow. Well, then kudos to her. Kudos
Yeah.
to her. Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
I love that the youth is stepping out and doing. Come on, come
Yeah.
on. It's always good for our youth to know the value of black business and black dollars, right? And not only that, she's probably loving it because she's doing it with her grandmother, right?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like
What
doing it
better
with
way to spend time with a family member besides making money with them, you know?
come on. So, and then not only that, to be honest, I'm spending time with my family member, but also I can do a little something on the side. I'm learning a skill. I'm learning how to, you know what I mean? And so a lot of times we think money, 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 money. But right now, her spending time with her grandmother, getting that understanding, knowing how to perfect something,
Mhm.
that's going to take her far. That's going to take her
Mhm.
far. So kudos
Yeah.
to y'all, Victoria. Kudos. Taste and tell and beautiful. And thank you, T. Thank you. So I think we're going to get into our topic. I don't see anybody else putting anything in. Talisha, if you know of anybody, please go ahead and put them in the comments or um, Facebook information, anything like that throughout the broadcast, because I think that we should all pay attention to. And so let me say this: it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a black business or a storefront or you're doing something. You can have an organization. You can have a 513c, a
501.
Look, you can have a nonprofit. Look. You can have anything going on, but what we want to do is support whatever that is. So, ladies and gentlemen, like, share. Show us some hearts and show us some love if you are out there and doing it like that. And I appreciate you all for chiming in. So let's go ahead and get into the topic today, right? Look. T said 504-321. Exactly. Like, I don't know why. Hey, that's me. Oh, you know what, Erica? You know what? I'm glad you chimed in. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know your nonprofit. Let us know what's happening and all of that good stuff. But you know what's funny is that I've been working around nonprofits and stuff for the last 2 years now, and organizations. And I tell you, Talisha, I still have a problem with saying
501c3.
Yeah, 501c3. I always have a problem with saying that. So I was on the phone the other day with someone, and I was talking. I was like, yes, and 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 it's a 50357.
Just like, a nonprofit.
Okay. Like, I can't even play with it. But okay, indeed. So Erica, I know you have your nonprofit, but please, if you have a website, if you have a link or something like that, please let us know about it. Or if you don't have that as of yet, to anybody that's putting anything into the comments, let us know what the business is about or the organization is about, and we can go from there. All right, so Talisha is here, and we are going to talk about, what do credit restoration companies really do? Really. Like, what do they do?
Look, so many people, when I talk to people about repairing their credit, restoring their credit, so many of them say that, because one of my first questions is, what are you trying to purchase? And then, because that, that makes a difference on how fast you need to move. But then also, what negative items do you have on your credit report? Mm-hmm. So that's one of my first questions is, what are your negative items? If people seek out credit restoration and they'll tell me that they don't have any negative items on their credit report. So that's why I was like, people need to understand what credit restoration companies do, what credit repair companies do. So, and a lot of people say student loans. People always tell me like, I got collections, medical bills, student loans. So my next question when they say they have student loans is, are they in default? Is it reporting a negative status? And so a lot of people are like, no, it's not. So a credit, or I'm kind of ahead of the game, but a credit restoration company, credit repair company does not negate you from owing a student loan debt.
Right.
Right. Yes. So if it's showing positive, I don't understand why people ask me about having it removed. I never understood why people want it removed if it's showing not in a negative status.
Right.
But if it is in a negative status, we fight to get it removed based off the information being inaccurate or erroneous information, or it's not your information, it's not valid information.
Right.
So if it's not negative, there's nothing for us to dispute.
Right.
And if you don't have anything negative on your credit report, our program can help you with that, because we help with budgeting, savings, and debt payoff, and a couple of other things. But at the end of the day, if you don't have credit, let me just go there first. If you don't have credit, what you need to do is get you a secure credit card if you don't already have a credit card. Next, you need to, if you're renting, which you probably don't have credit. If you have a home, you probably have some credit. So the people that fall in the trap of not having enough credit normally are renting. Mm-hmm. So if you're renting, you need to have your rent reported. And so your actual property manager, initially they have to send in the paperwork verifying that you moved in on this date and that You pay your rent monthly, and the amount. So that's all they have to do initially. So the following months, the property manager, the only thing they have to do is when they get a call or an email, all they have to do is verify, yes, they paid their rent. And that's it. So it's nothing hard for the property manager to do, but it's huge for you to be able to boost your credit score. Imagine not having a mortgage, but having a mortgage-like item reported on your credit report.
Right.
So those are my top two things that you need to do. The third.
I'm sorry. So real quick. So where are we reporting it to? Where are they reporting it to? They reported to the credit bureaus?
Yes. So right now we report to TransUnion and Equifax. So you can have that reported to your TransUnion and Equifax. And then so Experian has Experian Boost. So I'm glad you asked that question. So those two companies you can get your rent reported, and then you can use Experian Boost to have your utilities and phone bill reported.
Oh.
So hence Experian Boost. So that's only going to report to your Experian credit report, right? So how Experian Boost works, and that's free. Credit My Rent is a cost. It's $6.95 a month, but which is basically nothing. But Experian Boost is absolutely free.
Is a trip to Starbucks for me, but we get it.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. Look, and then so for Experian Boost, you give them access to go into your bank account, and then they are able to see that you pay your utility bills monthly and your phone bills monthly.
Gotcha.
And so that's how you get credit with Experian Boost.
Okay.
So the third
Experian Boost is an option. Okay.
Experian Boost and Credit by Rent and a secured credit card.
And Credit by Rent and a secured credit card.
Those are my top options.
Okay.
Next is going to be what we call a credit builder loan. So with a credit builder loan, you pay on a loan, but you don't get the money until you're done paying on that loan amount. Right. And so with that, they're reporting monthly that you're paying this. And so hence you have a credit builder loan, right?
Okay.
So you're doing a forced saving. So to me, that is way awesome because you're gonna get that money at the end of the day.
So, I think the biggest part, what you just said, for me, for most people that don't understand, I worked in banking for 11 years. And I'm not saying you don't understand that. I'm saying I didn't understand until I worked in banking for 11 years of how hard it is to save, number one. And then number two, if you're saving and it's being reported to the credit bureaus that you're making on-time payments, that's huge. That's
huge. Yeah.
And then if you invest in anything, CDs, money markets, anything like that, you have a time frame.
Right.
You have a time frame anyway. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. Absolutely. So yes, so that's another option. And so when it comes to, and then there's other things like you can get Fingerhut and they report to your credit. But remember, like I'm gonna tell you, don't play with Fingerhut though. People I see with Fingerhut, I told you Fingerhut and cons. When I see that on their credit report,
play with them.
Yeah, they don't be playing, like, because when we're disputing based off it, not either the information not being valid, erroneous, or inaccurate. So don't play with them. If you're trying to build your credit, everything, because your payment history is 35% of your credit. So you cannot play when you're trying to improve your credit. You got to pay everything on time, and or make sure, if you can't, make sure you communicate that with them so they can either tack it on to the end of your loan or, work out some type of payment arrangement with you so you don't get a 30-day late, because a 30-day late can cost you a lot of points on your credit. Just one 30-day late.
Okay.
Yes. So what do credit repair companies do anyway? Right? So we repair your credit, or we restore your credit. We clean it up based off disputing negative items, which the Fair Credit Reporting Act allows you to be able to do that, because 1 in 5 Americans have inaccurate items on their credit report, things that don't belong to them. Because like if you got a common name, you may have something on your credit report, or if your social security number is similar to someone else's, you may have their information on your credit report. So that's what we do. We dispute based off anything that we can find in that account that makes it inaccurate information, or prove that they have to prove that it belongs to you. Right. And so once
real quick, what was that number again? How many Americans you said? What was it?
1 in 5.
1 in 5.
1 in 5 Americans have inaccurate information on their credit report.
So and I'm just for my 5th grade education. So basically, a lot of times you would hear people say, "Oh, I had this on my credit, but it wasn't mine, and it was negative affecting my credit." So literally, like you said, you have a common name, right? So here's something that you can actually do. I always like to Google and stuff like that, but Google your name. You would be surprised at how many people have almost exact same name, and even the middle initial is the same. So you have to kind of be careful with that. So when you just said that, somebody put in my my inbox that they basically have had that happen, and I was like, well, it can't be that common. But you're saying 1 in 5.
1 in 5. Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Here's a tip to see, even if you're not ready for credit restoration, or if you're having a hard time identifying what's on your credit report. Here's a tip. So I say it all the time, but annualcreditreport.com, you can get your free credit report every week for free up until April 2021, because with COVID and so much fraud going on, because everybody, so many more people are shopping online, doing way more business online, which that's like the perfect setup for those little sneaky fraudsters out there. Right. So every week you can pull your credit report for free on annualcreditreport.com. So when you look at those reports, look to see if they have your name spelled in different ways. Because like on my credit report, when I started cleaning mine up, they had my name spelled as TISHA.
Yes.
It all kind of at least 5 or 6 different.
I had the same thing. Yeah.
Right. So clean that up and clean up your addresses. If you may have a debt that's attached to you because it's attached to an address that you were at before. So you could request to have those addresses cleaned up on your credit reports. So even if you don't use a credit repair company, you can also do some things on your own, like dispute your inquiries. People, like I talked to a lady the other day, she had 60 inquiries between the 3 of her credit reports. Right? I was like, what you doing? Stop applying for stuff.
Did she win a lottery and start what is happening?
Yes.
It's a lot. It is a lot.
And just imagine, because each inquiry can cost you anywhere from 5 to 10 points.
Come on.
So do 5. So each that would mean 20 inquiries on one credit report. Now let's go with let's lowball it. 20 times 5. That's you're 100 points shy, because
already
you got all the inquiries.
That's crazy. What? So I know you can't talk about but I guess I want to know what was the process, the thought process? Like, I'm doing this because I remember before I got creditized, before I got up on what the credit is, I was going places and just applying. Anytime I went somewhere, I was applying, right? I kind of took that military mentality with me when I left, because in the military, they were just throwing stuff in my face. Oh, sign here. Oh, apply for this, apply for that. And I was just like, yeah, I got 15 credit cards.
Right.
But you don't really understand what it's doing on the backside. So when I started looking for a home, or when I started getting ready to buy a car or make a large purchase like that, somebody told me, as you said on the show before, do it all in the same time.
Yeah.
Go to these places. Don't go 1 month and then 1 month and then the next month. Do it
Yeah.
all within the same time. That way, if you're going to get dinged, you're going to get dinged, and they know what's going on, right? So yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And you
So
right, do it all at one time. Because if you're buying a car, don't shop around 3 or 4. You can shop around 3 or 4 months prior, but don't shop around with your social security number. If you got to put in your social security number while you shopping around, don't do that. You need
exactly.
to, right? You only need to start applying for credit when you're ready to go. Because what's the point in shopping around first, seeing if you can get approved? If your credit sucks, you may still get approved, but your interest rate is going to be stupid high. So save the interest and fix your credit first. I always say that because what it costs you to fix your credit, you're going to pay that at high interest and more,
Right.
along with your car insurance. So,
okay. So real quick, T said, I just went on annual credit report today and pulled all 3 of mine. It's easy and simple to download. That is so true, ladies and gentlemen. I think I put it into the comments. I hope I spelled it correctly. Yeah, I did. All you have to do is Google it. You can put it into, yeah, I did it. I think I did. Yeah. So all you got to do is put it in and do that. And what we're saying, ladies and gentlemen, we're not trying to force anything down your throats or say that you got to do this or got to do that. But what we want to do is inform you and make sure that you got the information that you need. And whether you are renting, owning, buying, standing on the corner, hiding behind a bush, credit is important. Credit is important, period. Period. It's important. So that's what we're trying to do today, is to let you know, because a lot of times people, when we start talking about credit, they be like, oh, Titan, look, okay, y'all don't have to tell them that. No, this is on an information level, right? And if you want to get in touch with Talisha about what she does, and she'll tell you about that, then you get in touch with her. I'm not saying that you have to, but what we are saying is that credit is important. And that if you're going to use your credit, then be wise when you do it, right? And then what did you say the last time we was on the show? It's not a chore, it's an investment.
Yes, credit repair is not a bill, it's an investment.
There you go. She said
not a bill. People are so confused about that. Credit repair is not a bill, people. It's an investment, not even just an investment on your financial wellness, on your mental wellness as well. Like I'm telling you, like the feeling of when I told you I was at a 487 when I started. And so the feeling of knowing my credit score was at a 487, I dreaded checking it. And you know, if it rained, I'm like, Lord, please don't let it flood, because I can't even get a new car because my credit sucks. You know, so you gotta, I mean, man. And we in hurricane season. So if we flood next week, because again, there's 2 storms out there, and people are like, oh, those storms was nothing, they hyped it up for nothing. No, I want you to hype it up. We better safe than sorry. Y'all wanted us to get that last storm so we look like Lake Charles. No. But you got it right. So imagine all the people out there that had bad credit. Now they finna go have to try to replace cars, replace cars, where to stay with bad credit, which makes that catastrophe even worse.
Right.
And financially even worse.
Right. It's funny because you just said something that's really, really important. A lot of people say, what does spirituality, what does peace, what does things like that have to do? What does your mental capacity or stability have to do with credit?
A lot.
You know, it has a lot to do, because you all are connected, right? You're connected. Anything that's negative, that's going to affect you, it's going to worry you. It's going to make you stress out. It's going to make you do all of those things. And so I told somebody one day, me and Talisha was on, and I think this is when we were on the radio, and the person said, well, good credit ain't going to make me feel no better or nothing like that. Yes, it will, because when you go to get whatever it is that you're trying to get, there is nothing, and we say this all the time, there is nothing like walking onto a car lot, right? Or going to purchase something, and you can say, I want that one.
Yes, can I get this one? I saw this one online. Can I get this? And my credit kind of, you try to explain the story first.
There's nothing like having that security. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're saying is that you got to understand what this does. There is nothing better, and my grandmother taught me this a long time ago. There's nothing better than coming home or coming to your castle or coming to your queendom, right? And knowing that you don't have to worry. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can walk in, like people used to tell me all the time, Titan, well, you going here and doing that. I don't have to worry about anything, right? I worked on my credit. I built my credit up. I made sure that I was good. So when I step into these places and spaces and they start talking that yin yang, I'd be like, I want that right there. Oh, well, sir, you got to have, look, that's what I want. Do what you got to do, but that's what I'm leaving with. And
right.
well, you can have this as well, or you can have this package added on to the.
They talk to you different once they didn't know that credit. They all talk, whether it's good or bad, they talk to you different.
I tell them all the time, it's credit racism.
Right.
You racist against my bad credit.
Against my bad credit.
Exactly. You racist against my bad credit. Yeah. But go ahead, lady. I'm sorry. So
look, T said about the credit builder loan. And I was gonna say, she said Self.Inc. And yes, Self.Inc. is, I haven't used them, and that's great, T. But I know a couple people that has used it, and I'm gonna use it. Because I want to anything that I can do, because so I'm gonna stay at my apartment for another year, and then the next year, then I'm gonna go ahead and buy my house too. My baby says she want a yard, and I want a pool, so we do thing. But so so my potential highest score is an 850, and I get it. Once you get over like a 750, 750, then it kind of really doesn't even matter anymore. But I just want to be like 850, just because. So Self.Inc. is one of the more popular credit builder companies. So she put it in there. So that was, and I was gonna say them. So great information to you.
Cool.
So so with the credit repair companies, now here's something that you want to look for. Now I told you what we do. So if you have like late payments, we try to, say like, hey, are you sure those payments were late? And then if they verify that they really were late, then we ask for, hey, out of good faith, I've been paying it all this time and I've been current. Can you please remove it? So there's another option with the late payments. So when you're looking for a credit repair company, one of the main things you want to ask them is, do you dispute all negative items at one time? Because you want to know that, because if they, and I always talk about Lexington Law, and that's because I know that Lexington Law does this. They don't dispute all your negative items on all 3 credit reports at one time. And that's how they keep you in the program. So we dispute all negative items at one time, which is why our clients start seeing results within 30 to 45 days. And then we recommend they stay in the program for 5 to 7 months. Now, like I said, I started at a 487. So of course, 5 to 7 months wasn't going to be enough for somebody starting at a 487. If your credit really prepared to be in a program a year. But if you end up with a company that don't dispute every single negative item at one time, be prepared to be in the program for 2+ years. So that's why that's so important to know that off top. If you don't ask nothing else, you want to know, because we are all credit repair companies are doing the same thing. We're disputing your negative items based off it being erroneous or inaccurate information.
Gotcha.
Or obsolete. So we all do the same thing. Like people are like, oh, this program doesn't work or that program doesn't work. We're all doing the same thing. It's just the method and how it's being done. Is it being done where you dispute all negative items or not? Or is it being done where are you disputing with the bureaus and the creditor? Because that helps speed up the process as well. So yes, we all do the same thing. You just want to make sure you want to get the lowest price, and then you want to make sure, that you're getting the bang for your buck, though, right? Yeah.
Sometimes when we go with the lowest price, we don't get everything that we need. So sometimes you gotta, spend a little money. But I think sometimes what we do is we rather go spend $60, $70 on a meal, right?
Yeah.
Than to get our credit fixed. And then not only that, I think that it's hard sometimes for people to understand that your credit is a living and breathing thing. It changes. It
It's your financial heartbeat.
Come on.
Your credit is a financial heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah. I told somebody one time, we always joke about this. I told them I thought I knew everything because I had a checking account. I had a checking account. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know.
Don't get a checking account and that credit card though.
Exactly. Until I started actually working at the bank, and I started to move up the ladder, and I said, "Wait, what? What happened?"
So, are you seeing other people's accounts to see that like what you're supposed to have in your bank?
Yeah. So here's what's funny. So I started on the ground floor. I started in customer service, and then I moved to management. And what's crazy is that when you're talking to these customers and real issues, real problems, right? Like gambling, getting paid on Friday and don't have no money on Tuesday. Like it was like some real stuff. But then you had these rich folk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rich folk that got all of what they need, right? But they don't spend money like that. Their credit is an 800 and all this good stuff. They don't spend any money like that. How do you think that they have these $1 million homes and these nice Mercedes and Benz? Like, how do you think they have it? So at first I was like, oh, well, they got money. But what I didn't understand was that their credit was good, number one, and the money that they had invested was making money. So, either way they went, they were good. I had never seen an 800 credit score. Never. Until I worked at that bank and I said, wait, does that say 800? And they were like, and then I saw an 813, an 820. I was like, this is not right. No, this is not possible. Because my credit score at the time was 585, 5 something.
You see these 300s.
Let me tell you, when I hit that 724, ooh, where I was like, ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, I was like, yeah.
That's when you get over 700. It's like,
it was like, did I do that? And then when I went into these places and they ran my credit, they was like, oh, okay, well, Mr. Capri, you can do this, and this. Okay, then. I already knew that.
That's what I tell y'all.
But I didn't understand how we, as people, not millionaires, not billionaires, we spend more money and do more credit things than people with gazillion dollars. Those people are not spending and doing like we are. I don't have I don't have a third of the money. Okay, so I'm gonna say this because this is real crazy. The very first account that I ever saw, she had $80 million. $80 million. Now she had a portfolio, so that just goes to show you I don't even know what a portfolio was. She had a portfolio. Her money that she put in savings and her money market and her CDs and things like that, they were making $5,000 to $10,000 a month just by itself. Now, let me be honest. This was back when interest rates were really, really good. They're not like that now. But back then, she was making that money. So she would move that money from the account. It was interest. And she would move it over to a savings or a trust fund for her grandchildren and her children, her great grandchildren, for the estate. For this, she was given to charities, and she was doing all of this stuff. And I said, $80 million. Now, Talisha, let me tell you this. That wasn't her trust fund. That was just her money. She had $195 million trust fund. So when I tell you they handled her,
Oh,
baby, they handled her with big, bushy cushion gloves. Like she had
like
everything.
Beyonce had walked up in there.
Come on. And her thing was, and she only called once a month, right? To check on her funds. She didn't have to really call. She had somebody working for her to do that. But she would call just so she could get a hold of, and she would run down every last one of those accounts. And I will remember that. And anytime she called, she was a VIP with us. Anytime she called, she went to one person and one person only, and they went straight down her accounts and all of that. And so I said all of that to say this, is that wealth is possible, security is possible, but you got to know what you're actually doing. You have to know, just like earlier before you came on, Talisha, I was telling them that Google Black banks, Google Black-owned banks. You got to know what's around you. You got to know what's going on. Find out what the interest rate is. Find out when the last time the interest rate changed. Find out how many what's the tax is on a dollar. Find out, like you need to know these things if you're going to have a business and you're going to grow a business. You need to know what your price point is and all of that. And then the other part was I told them to Google Black Wall Street, right? Because you need to know your history. Okay. And then also, if you just really want to just take a moment and look, Google wealthiest Black neighborhoods or wealthiest Black community, because you are in, especially those of us here in Houston, there are a couple of wealthy Black communities that are around us that we don't even know that they're wealthy Black communities. It's not something that people really go to figure out. But how did they do? Like some people were born into money, but some people had to work. Like you and I, we understand that you have to work. Like a lot of the Black-owned businesses that have been on this thread today understand what it takes in order for you to get there. And number one, I know, we've been saying this from the beginning since we started, credit is important. You cannot do anything in life without any credit. Like you were saying, get you a secured credit card, right? We've seen them. I think you said Cons. What's the one? What's the other one? Fingerhut. Yeah, there's a couple of cards that I'm trying to think of what the other, but a lot of them are coming up. But back in the day, everybody would go with Fingerhut or with Cons because they reported like quickly, like they're
they
on
them negatives real quick too.
I was gonna say, however, don't play with them. Don't sit up here and be like, whatever Cons, whatever Fingerhut, and they gonna sit, and then you're gonna be like, wait, I just was missing. I was late one day. That's your problem. Yeah.
And then they call you first thing in the morning the next day too. I can't do them. I don't do them credit calls and stuff. Oh, I hated being in that position when my credit started going down. I hated being in that position, but I did let them all know, like off top. You send me a letter.
Yeah.
Send me a letter what you owe and don't call me no more. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. And so as soon as I get that letter, what do you do with that letter? You do a debt validation on them. As soon as they send that letter, you type yours up. Put that thing in the mail, certified, send it to them. I need you to validate this debt, and I need you to validate all this information. When I say validate, I mean you need to show me why I signed for this debt too.
Right.
And you need to make sure all the amounts are correct.
Exactly.
So one thing to look at when you have like a collection on your credit report, make sure you look at like the creditor that collection, the original creditor that collection came from, and make sure that collection agency didn't restart your date, because the date Yes, you have to verify that, and then if they started the date over, that's inaccurate. That's
Yeah,
not that. So that's when you send them a letter letting them know, like, hey, my last date of action of missed payment on this debt was, I don't know, January 2014,
right.
right? But you're reporting that this is valid as of 2016, because as of 2014, then they need to be coming off. And so that's the
Yeah,
difference between the two.
right.
Make sure you checking to see that they don't restart the clock on that debt. Make sure it starts from the missed payment from the original debts.
Exactly. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a real thing. That
Yeah.
is a real thing. That's how do you think these creditors, I mean these collection agencies keep following you from year to year to year to year to year because they starting over. So we talked about this once before. Talisha said when they call you, don't you agree to nothing. Don't you tell them nothing. Better yet, if you got scam likely on your phone, you need to make sure that you go ahead and block them all. Because what happens is if you are trying to be good, and Talisha said this last time, she said that if they've already reported you, you don't owe that no more. Why are you paying that? Now, if it's something that you need to pay because you got to do something else with this company or something like that, then you go ahead and you pay it off. But if they've already reported you and it's been 5-10 years down,
yes.
let
That go. So, and then if you're gonna pay it off,
yeah,
right? So, like I talked to someone yesterday, and they had a $900 something debt, and the company sent them a letter saying. So they sent the company a letter asking for validation of that debt. So the company came back saying it's valid, but they still haven't done the actual legal validation, right? But they did come with a settlement offer of like $300, something like that. So in that case, if you know that you have the 300 and you could go ahead and pay it, but only do it with a pay to delete. Send them a request. I will pay this if you delete it. Period.
That's it. That's it.
So that's the only way you're gonna pay a collection is if you're doing a pay to delete. Period.
Yeah. Because I mean, but what's the use if you're not going to delete it? Then what's the use of me paying it like that? Because if I've already went past the time and you've already put the 2 collections, then there's no reason for me to actually do that. But you are right though, because there were a couple of things that was on my credit that was like $100. No, it was like 180 or 175 or something like that. And of course, that was at the beginning, and then it went to 5 something and whatever have you. And when they contacted me, when I finally said, you know what, let me just go ahead and do this because I might have to go back to this bank at some time. Who knows, right? We're gonna do it. So they offered me $210 or something like that as a settlement, right? And I said, okay, cool. I said, but does this actually take it off of my credit? Like if I do this, am I done? Like I'm over. And so I didn't do the delete like what you're talking about. I went ahead and paid it and stuff like that, and it was still sitting there. They were still reporting, and I was like, well, what did I pay it for? Like, why did I pay it? But it makes sense. So you got to take that into your own hands and actually make sure that this is happening the way that it should, because most people don't even know that.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that would happen.
Yes, exactly. Because I mean, a negative is a negative. So especially, so it may not be. So a negative is a negative is a negative. Period. Right. But you may get you're gonna get a little kudos for it being at a zero balance that you paid it off, but not like you're thinking, because people are like, I paid all this money on this debt and my score only went up like 5 or 10 points. That's because it's still a negative. It wasn't going to do the drastic effect that you thought it was when you paid it off. It's going to keep it from dipping any lower, but it's just a negative. So and I always say I'm not paying the collection, but like, for example, I had a medical bill from Baton Rouge that popped up on my credit report. I'd be checking mine on my credit report. So it's like $50 something. So I'm going to send them a letter. Sometime it's probably my next post office run will be Friday. So I'm gonna send them a letter requesting that I'll let them know, like, hey, and I don't even need that. I'm not trying to like cheapen the $50. I'll pay you the $50 as soon as but you're gonna have to delete it for me. So I'm gonna send them a letter telling them that, because like I'm not gonna, I know I owe the 50. I didn't even remember about the dang old thing, but now after I saw it, I was like, oh, they was sending me letters. Shit. You know, they really was. And like, dang, I'm in this process, and y'all really do.
Okay.
Put that on there. So yes. So in that case, what I'm about to do is, like I said, I'm gonna send them a letter letting them know that, hey, I'm willing to pay this debt, and as long as you're gonna delete it after.
Exactly. I think that's a good thing. T says this is such great info. I feel my score moving up right now. Holy Ghost moving. George said we really need to talk. Yes, indeed, George. Yes, indeed. And T said, and if you cut this lady, you speaking of, Titan Capri, she will bleed red, which means we too can do the exact same thing. Black wealth is so important. Look,
yes.
I'm telling you, just because of her color, that doesn't mean if you cut her, she bleeds red just the same way we do. So we can do the same thing. But I do have to say this to my Black brothers and sisters, that we have to stop looking, right, to get it handed to us and go out there and actually get it. We have to have that knowledge. We got to be able to know what that is. Working for a bank, and then Talisha working and being in the credit field and doing what she's doing, you get a lot of insight or understanding about stuff that you didn't know before. Like I didn't understand. So this is something that most people don't know, right? That banks actually borrow money to have your money, to give you money. So you put your money in the bank and the bank borrows against that money, right? Now, I don't want you to go and run and take your money out the bank, because that's the American, it's just the way that it is.
That's how it works. Yeah.
The bank takes money, a percentage of that money off of that, and gives to small business loans, right? Or gives to loans, and that's how they loan out. That's how they make their money back, right? So your money is your money in a bank, but do understand that it's almost like a loan type of thing, right? Because what they do is they have the money in, they have a pool of money, and they loan a certain portion of that pool out for businesses and things like that. Why do you think when they were saying, like Fannie Mae and all of these other places, they had to bail them out, right? Because they had given them money, right, to have these businesses and the whole that. And when the business tanked, they lost that money. So now all of a sudden, everybody, when they say we went through a Great Depression or a recession and stuff like that, that's because the money is being borrowed off of the money that is in the banks. That's why banks are so important. And nobody ever knew that. Because I said to myself, I said, wait a minute. So you mean the money that I put in, even though my little $25 that I put in, right? If I gain any interest or there's anything coming off of that money, it can, that y'all loan it to bank. So if the bank went under, right, I might not get my money because the bank doesn't have any money because they borrowed off of the money that you have. So that's why it's so important for those VIP clients, because those VIP clients have boo gobs of money and they are borrowing off that money, right, to finance these small businesses and these businesses. So you don't really know that, right? Now I kind of chopped that up a little bit, but anybody, if you look at, just Google what a bank is. Google how a bank gets their money, or Google how does a bank make money? Because you think banks don't make money. They do. They
make money off them NSF fees.
They make money off of you. Do you remember that time where they were charging you $38 per NSF fee? Like if you went 5 cents over, they were charging you $38. Like so, and then they had to regulate that. Banks got in trouble because they were making millions of dollars in fees, like Ridiculous.
You have a
Ridiculous.
deposit waiting to post, and they gonna post the credit first.
Yes. Yes.
You
So
could have posted the deposit first and not had charges NSF fee.
and then look, I ain't gonna lie to you. Our bank didn't post anything over the weekend. So you out there spending all willy-nilly, and then come Monday, all them charges hit your account, and you're like, wait, what? What happened? Hey, what's going on? So you got to be careful. So good morning, Miss Queen Sellers. She said, good morning to Mr. Dags and Titan Capri. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you as well. Good morning, Quincy. Good morning. Quincy is with us. You know what? I didn't put Quincy's name down in, but Quincy, do me a favor. And then also, Miss Sellers, you do the same thing. Put down in what your business is. Quincy has a podcast, or excuse me, a radio show in Dallas called Mash the Gas. So Quincy, put your information down in. Anybody in Dallas looking for a good radio show to follow, look up. And then also, too, you may want to be a guest. You may have a black business or whatever they're doing at the time. Put that in down there. So, yeah, I did not understand that banks were making money off for us, right? And there's a lot that you don't know. So I want to say this one more time. Black wealth is so important. A lot of us were not born into wealth, right? A lot of us were born into poverty. No shame, no shame. I still eat a little syrup sandwich every now and then just to be yes, but so just make sure. So I want to go back to what I said earlier on in the broadcast, is that there were 3 things that you should actually Google. Well, now it's 4. And I don't think you should Google it. Number 1, I'm going to say those 3 things for last. But number 1, annualcreditreport.com, right? Yeah. Alicia said you need to go. It's free. You can get it every week until April of 2021.
Yep.
Okay, April of 2021. I think it's important for us to do that. If you don't do anything else, pull your credit report and look at what's going on, and then contact Talisha. And she can help you out with that. She'll put her info in. We'll put her info in. But ladies and gentlemen, it's so important. It's so important. And I know y'all are probably saying, okay, Titan, Talisha, y'all are always talking about this this every Wednesday. Y'all come on here. But it's important, especially right now during this pandemic where people are not working, people are getting shut down, people are starting businesses and doing all of this stuff like that. Credit is so important.
Yeah.
You do that.
Because, that's the same thing. You know how like in the military, you have to have your quarterly sexual harassment training, sexual assault training, all that stuff. And then what continuously happens in the military? Sexual harassment, right?
Come on.
We train on it quarterly. And then some units train on it more than that. Like when I was an equal opportunity advisor, I kind of trained on it more than that because it seemed like people kind of took sexual harassment as a joke. And it ain't funny when you on a receiving end of not wanting to.
Come on.
So that's where credit come in line. I'll stop talking about credit. We'll be all good, especially us as African Americans, because I always say we are third in line for making the most money, but number 1 for having the worst credit. Woo! I mean, hello. That means we need to listen more. We need to act more, listen more. Stop building debt and invest in your credit, because because it's like when you start, when you start running, right? Even if you suck at push-ups and sit-ups, when you start running and when you get in shape and when you get better with running, all the other stuff falls in place, right? So when you acquire your credit, everything else falls in place. Things become more important than they were before. Saving becomes more important than it was before. Keeping your credit utilization under 30%, preferably 20%, becomes a priority to you once you start moving up in that positive direction. So you got to start moving in the positive direction and start giving a F about your credit.
Right.
I mean, your credit is so important. Like I was stuck in a house before I moved because he didn't check credit. So that was my options. Was I had to move in a place that either allows people with bad credit or because I had a foreclosure on my credit report.
Mm-hmm.
So that meant I couldn't really stay anywhere unless they just wasn't really checking credit.
Right.
Or it's not favorable place. And I'm spoiled. So I mean, 22 years in the Army and retiring as a master sergeant, I'm just not gonna stay anywhere. So I had to get my credit straight. And so now it allows me to stay exactly where I want to stay while I build to where I'm ready. That got me out of the home I didn't want to be in, where I wasn't even really happy in it. I wanted to be downtown in a cute little chic apartment with me and my baby. So having credit allowed me to do what I wanted to do. And then, like I said, when I'm ready to buy my house, I want a house with a yard and a pool. And that's exactly what I'm gonna get, is a house with a yard and a pool. Because guess what? I'm saving and my credit is on 10.
Yeah. And not 9 times out of 10, if you think about what you just said is fact. A lot of times, we don't understand how much money and credit things go through our hands. If you take a moment and look at your last 10 years of what you've spent, how much money you've wasted, what you've done, or what, Tanisha, what is it we always say? You got a car with a what? And a
Ford Focus with a BMW car note.
Come on. And y'all know what we're talking about. So don't act like y'all don't know what we're talking about. Y'all sitting up here riding around in this car because y'all had to go to these little side lots that say $499 down, but the interest rate is like 24%. Right? And you're sitting up here riding around with a Ford Focus with a BMW car note, like you're paying $500 for something that is not even worth $200.
Exactly.
But if your credit was on point, well, you don't have to go to now, nothing against these side lots, because you got to do what you have to do, right? And then I don't want to say
serve a purpose.
They serve a purpose. But most of the time, in my experience, when I went to the side car lots, I was going because I had no other choice. I was going because my credit was not good enough. Exactly. Yeah. And so I remember, I told this story to Talisha and we both laughed about this. So I remember about 4 or 5 years ago, we went to this event and the guy pulls up, nice car. It was black. I don't know if it was a Mercedes or if it was what, but anyways, the guy pulled up and he was like, yeah, my car, my dad. So the function lasted about maybe 3 hours or so. So on the way out, I was parked across the street on the street here, and he was in the valet driveway, like the valet couldn't move the car.
Oh, they turned it off.
I'm laughing, y'all, because I love when people I love when people brag about, oh, I got this, I got that, and you need to get like me and stuff like that. And literally, he did not pay the car note on time, and they turned the car off in the valet driveway. In the valet driveway, it wouldn't move. It wouldn't move no matter how much you turned the key. It would not move, according to them, until 2 hours later when the payment finally was sent over to them. And literally, it was after hours. But they were calling him and telling him that he missed the payment. And so what I'm saying is this: I don't want no timer on my car. So
no, that's why, because it's so right.
Yeah.
So there's two issues there, because if you go to a reputable place, they're not finna turn your car off. So you're bragging on the really nice car you have that you got at a side lot,
right?
That you can't even pay,
right?
What we doing?
Exactly. But that's normally how it is. Normally what happens is that we go out because we want to show and prove so bad, right? We go out and we purchase this car that's bleeding us dry. Now here's the thing. Are you good? Here's the thing. And so we're gonna wrap up in just a second here. But here's the thing: you are paying $400 to $500 for a car note, and not to mention probably $100+, almost $200 for insurance. Where they do that at? What's the purpose of you having credit if you're not going to have good credit so that you can pay $500 total for car note and insurance, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Some of us get into these things because I did it with my first car. Some of us get into it and then it's not a good deal, but we need a car at the time. So we go ahead and we get it.
Right.
And then I went back and I refinanced. And I never had a 7%. No, it was a 5.5, 6. It was something like that. Never. I've always had 18 and above. And I know that's a lot. I know that's a lot. Because my credit at the time was not good. My credit was good when I was in the military, but when I got out, I couldn't. I had all of these credit cards and I was just traveling and spending and doing so my credit.
Then you got to pay that, and then you get further and further behind.
Yeah. So I say, ladies and gentlemen, we're not being. I mean, we're laughing and joking about certain things, but we're not trying to like put you down or anything like that. What we want to do is build you up. Black wealth is important. You need to know what your credit is, and you need to know how to build your credit. So, Talisha, tell everybody how they can get in contact with you. What can they do? And ladies and gentlemen, again, she's my co-host on Wednesdays, Workshop Wednesdays, but I am not telling you that you have to go to her. This is your decision. You check her out. If you have any questions, check her out, see what she can do for you, and then you go from there. I don't want you to sit here and say, "Oh, well, Titan told me I better." But I just want to make sure people know, because somebody said, "Well, Titan, you pushing certain things." I said, no, that's not it. Because if you look at our Workshop Wednesday, we've been talking about all of these businesses that have been popping up in the comments. And she even said you can go to this credit repair. What was it that she called it? Self.inc. I think it was.
Yeah. That has nothing to do with me. I'm not affiliated with it. I don't get any profits off that. That has absolutely nothing to do with me. I just like to empower people with the knowledge and what they need to do. Because when people come to me, and if they don't need credit restoration, then I don't sign them up for the program. I'm going to tell you in a quick 10, 15 minutes what I recommend that you do, but you don't need our program. So I'm not going to sign you up if you don't need the services that we're offering, but I'm going to at least provide you guidance of what you need to do. Because some people are trying to get a 700 plus credit score, but you just absolutely can't get no 700 credit score. If you're in your 20s, your early 30s, your possible higher score is going to be lower than somebody like me, or who was in my, whatever. Okay. You had mumble rap that. Yes, right. So no, somebody look. Let me tell you, I'm 44, and I love every bit of where I'm at now. I love myself. I love me with my mom. I got some stuff I need to fix. But I'm telling you, I said about the age, but I am not one of them women that's embarrassed about my age, because I love every bit of it. And we know that it is a blessing to age.
Look, Talisha, I was gonna say, get like me. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Make it to 44, make it to 49, make it to these ages, and then you come talk to me. But when you're in your 20s and you say, "Oh, you old," get to where I'm at.
Right.
That's what you do.
And hope you look as good as I do when you're in your 40s.
Right, because black just look. So I want to say this really quick though. I said yesterday, I did a check-in yesterday, and I said exactly that. I am so secure in where I'm at. I'm loving the skin that I'm in, and I'm loving where I'm at in my life. I've been through some things, I've done some things, but you cannot take that away, that joy, that feeling, that love. And going right back to credit, right? If you are able to do that, like Ms. Lisa said, you can go in and you can pick this and choose that, and you can do that. That's what a good credit score does for you. It gives you that comfortability. It gives you that I'm okay.
That cushion, that
security. Yeah. So Tanisha, tell them where they can find you, and how to get in contact with you and all of that good stuff. And we will be back again on Wednesday, Workshop Wednesday, Black Business, and just dropping knowledge and doing all of that good stuff. But how can they get in touch with you?
You can find me on my Facebook page, Talisha Daggs. My business page is TD Daggs Credit Services. You can find me there, or you can also text me at 225-252-0091. And then I'll ask you a couple questions, provide you with some information. I try not to take phone calls unless I know that you're serious, because, not even trying to be rude about it, but time is money. So I can't spend 20 minutes on the phone with someone who's not even serious about the services. So once you reach out to me, I'll ask you a couple questions, see if you're a good fit for our program, and then we'll get on the line and we'll talk about how to get you going. So it's 225-252-0091, or you can follow. Oh, you got it right?
I got it right. Look, I said text the word help.
Yes, you know it.
Word help. Yes.
We've been doing this for a long time. Yes.
Look, I always get confused. 225-25. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, Talisha is there to help you out. But again, what we're trying to do and what we want to put out into the universe is that it's possible to be wealthy and Black. It's possible to have Black wealth. But you got to know the intricate details. You got to put that solid foundation down so you can build on it. And I know that we're a little older. We're in our 40s, and we're telling you, and you're going to have to experience what's going on. But here's the good thing about that. You have someone, and I'm going to say that we're elders, not that we're old, but we're elders in knowledge because we've been there. We've done that. She spent 22 years in the military. What do you freaking do?
22. Dang.
I did 8, and I thought I was doing something. Yeah. But I'm just
I don't know how I did that. Like, it ain't even. But during the time, it didn't even seem like anything. But now that I'm out, and when I tell people that I served 22 years, they like, what? Like,
people look at me all the time, and be like, because when you said that first, I said 22 years. You expect somebody to have been retired, looking like they retired at 22.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you don't look like that. So I think that's what kind of like get people. Like when I tell people all the time, they were like, "Oh, well, my daughter's 23." Your daughter 23? Well, how old are you? Like, you had kids young, and I was like, no, I'm close to 50 now.
Right.
Right. So they would think like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, just remember annualcreditreport.com. Oh, look at it. Annualcreditreport.com. Talisha said that it's free. Every week you can look at your credit, but do understand that your credit is a living and breathing thing. 3 things to Google, 4 things. Well, not 4, 3 things to Google. Is to Google Black Wall Street, right? This is your homework, right? Look, this is your homework. Google Black Wall Street. Google the wealthiest Black communities near you, right? And then lastly, you need to be able Google Black-owned banks. Black-owned banks. Know what's in your neighborhood. Know what's going on. Know how far your Black dollar goes, right? Mm-hmm. And if you are trying to have a business, if you are an entrepreneur, things like that, I'm telling you now, good credit is you need that. You need one. So as she stated before, and I'm sorry, Tanisha, as she stated before, it is not a bill, it's a what?
Oh, it's not a bill, it's an investment.
Yeah. I could use like
yeah.
It's you real in your financial future. So yeah. So Tanisha, what do you want to tell the people before we get out? I know I said a lot, but let them know something, one thing that they can do today, right? That can start them on a good credit journey.
Know what's on your credit reports.
Yes.
I talk to so many people because even Credit Karma is free. Credit Karma is free. And people think like, oh, my Credit Karma says something different. Credit Karma's credit score is accurate for the scoring model that they use. And I always tell people, it don't matter. It don't matter because if your credit sucks on Credit Karma, it sucks on your FICO score too. It sucks. If it sucks, it sucks. So whether it's a 520, it sucks, or if it's a 510, it still sucks. So Credit Karma works. You can get your free credit report on there, and then they give you your free credit score, which is going to be based off their scoring model, a Vantage score, not your FICO score. And it may be off by anywhere from 10 to 20, 30 points. But that's okay, because if it sucks, it sucks. So know what's on your credit report. Know what's on it. So many people I talk to, and I'm like, hey, what negative items do you have on your credit report? And they say, like, I don't know. How you don't know? You got to know what's on your credit report. That's part of the problem, is if you're not looking, you don't know what's on there. Right. So that's number one. And then after that, if you have, several inquiries or several negative items, or if you have charge-offs, then contact somebody. And like you said, it doesn't have to be me, but what I do want is for everyone to try to, to get your credit straight. Like good credit isn't for white people. Yeah. Good credit is for everybody.
Okay.
White folks, they got that money. Them black folks got that money too. We just ain't focusing on our credit like we supposed to. Right. Then if you don't got that money, figure out how you can make money in your sleep. Get you a side hustle. I can't stress that enough. Like that's almost second to credit, because one income don't cut it. And we see that you can get cut from that income really quick.
You see, and me and Tabitha always play all the time. I be telling her, she always saying, we got 15 jobs around here. We do a little bit of everything. But
she the queen of side hustles.
Come on. She got 15 side hustles. Like I have. Look, I thought I was doing it with my 3 hustles, but she got 15. So yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, y'all make sure that you understand what that is, because she just made a good point that it's not just for white people. And for some reason, we seem to think that white people are the only ones with good credit, or the only ones with good wealth.
Yeah. That ain't for just them. That's for everybody. And don't let them make you feel like it's just for just them. Be you, be the best you that you can. Because as being African American, you black or brown people, you have to be better than good. Right. In order to be in this world. Because you can go try to apply for a house with the 650 credit score, and then the Caucasian person can apply for that same house with a 610 credit score and get it. You have to be better than good as African Americans. Stop looking po mouth. Get you some. With social media right now, there's no reason why you shouldn't be making money online. When I'm sitting down and I'm online, I don't care if I'm scrolling YouTube or anything. It's about how I can make money. What's my next financial move? Because I want Tori to grow up. I want her to know to work.
Right.
But not really.
Yeah, no. And so I'm with you on that. My grandmother used to always say that you need to know the value of $1.
Right.
You may not do the same type of work that I did, or you may not work as hard as I had worked, but if you know the value of $1, you can make it in this world, because you understand what that means. And the value of $1 in credit terms, meaning knowing your credit, knowing where you at, knowing what's going on, because there's nothing that you can't get if you know where you're at, right? And if you don't know, like that woman told you, I don't know if I have anything negative on my credit. Well, then is your credit, like, how do you even know? Well, what's your credit? Like,
right. You just, why do you even reach out to me if you don't even,
Like, but you remember what I said? Shoot, I walked in there with my checkbook like I owned the place. I only had $25 in that account. Thought I was doing something because I had a checkbook.
Right.
We don't, and it's okay. It's okay that you don't know, but that's the reason why we do these workshop Wednesdays, because we want to put information out there, but we want you to understand that your black dollar has power. You have to understand that. that you are in control of a lot more than what you think you are, but you got to get control over your credit and your money and your financial portfolio. If you do that, they can't touch you. When it comes to you doing and going and living. That's the difference. Now, I was going to say, Talisha, I grew up poor, and God knows that I used to always wish that I had more money and stuff, but I used to look at people with more money and was like, I don't know if I want that. I'm good with my syrup sandwich.
Yeah.
Let me stop. But
your
all right,
relationship with money is more important than how much money you make.
Now, see, so next Wednesday, right? Next Wednesday or the next workshop Wednesday that we do, we're gonna have to talk about side hustles. Talk about credit again, but we got to talk about side hustles. What can we do? And we're going to come up with some items, maybe 1 to 5 things, side hustles that you could actually do to make you some money during this pandemic, because it doesn't seem like the end of the year, anything is going to change before the end of the year.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we need to make sure that we're on it like that. Okay. So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have talked. This is the first time I think we've done a full time in a long time. Like,
right.
Good minute. But this is good information. Thank you so much, Talisha, for being on. We will see you all on the next workshop Wednesday. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be great. And we will talk. You had something? I'm sorry. Oh, I thought you was.
I was like,
Okay. Peace and blessings to you all, and see you all next time. Hashtag T2P, come and take a sip of the thought with me.